Good morning, good morning, good morning, good morning. Welcome back to my channel, Knotty Love Movement. It's your host, Knotty, bring you the latest and trending topics and I vlog my life. I'm going to give YouTube a chance to send out some notification and we're going to get into the show. I'm sorry I couldn't go live yesterday. I got busy with appointments and then I was late this morning because a friend needed me. So I had to help out a friend. I'm divided in so many different directions, but I'm always happy to be here for my friends, just like they're always happy to be here for me. So please, thumbs up this video. Hey, Dustin, thumbs up this video. Share it out. We're going to get into a lot of important information. And if you're not subscribed, please subscribe. These are all the free ways to support the channel. And of course, donations are definitely appreciated. I'm working on getting a laptop and things like that so we can get back to doing our panels and everything, especially in the wake of the Diddy trial about to begin. Like, I want to be able to have panels. So if you guys could donate $1, $2, it will all help. Let me just pin my Cash App. But most importantly, please like the video. Please like the video. All these things help us get into the algorithm. Hold on. All right. All right, so the Cash App is pinned to the top if anyone wants to donate. I have a great show lined up for you guys. We have so much to get into, especially with the diddler. Also, please follow me on all my different social media platforms. I just added my link to my Instagram. So all of you can follow because I vlog my life too. So that's where you could catch a lot of that footage. I do a lot of concerts. Just my day-to-day. Just sharing my life with you guys. So today's show, please thumbs up the video, guys. Please thumbs up the video as you're loading into the room. We're going to get into not only P. Diddy's recent hearing. He had another bail hearing and it was denied. We'll get into the details. But what I want to get into is the media manipulation that goes on. A lot of these celebrities have a lot of ties to media and they pay them to persuade the public one way or another. So we're going to get into the breakdown of that because TMZ has a major hand in this because, one, they have their whole Tubi series on Tubi in regards to the downfall of Diddy and things like that. And I just been noticing they've been putting out a lot of Diddy sympathizing media. And also this kind of like, not only are they trying to disparage him, but at the same time, they're promoting him. And I want to let my Nighty crew know what is going on here because I've seen it for myself. And shout out to Make It Make Sense. All right. Because he was able to get his hands on the text messages that Thalia Graves ex is referring to. And as you all know, TMZ came out with a whole story that the ex is saying that she tried to pay him $3 million to testify against the diddler or whatever. And so I was watching Mim's channel and he had all the receipts. I want to do a little commentary from his channel and I want to tie it all together. So we're going to get into the diddler, his hearing yesterday, and what led up, the media frenzy that led up to the hearing, how they're trying to garner the public sympathy so that the judge can grant him bail. He is still using the media to manipulate. He did this with Cassie. Okay? He used his social media to harass her. And when he got the BET award and was honored at the BET awards, and he gave that grandiose speech, and he said, Cassie, thank you for getting me through the dark times. You know, he knew Cassie was suing him. Cassie had gave him one last ultimatum, but with his narcissistic ego, he thought he could still threaten her, okay, through his speech. That was a threat, whether you like it or not. You know, and that's why she dropped the hammer on him and filed the lawsuit. And thank God she did, right? Because here we are where we are today. All right. So not only that, I want to get into Teresa Randle, who's a former Bad Boy artist, and also actress, known for her role in Bad Boy and Sugar Hill. She's in a string of movies. Well, she was recently arrested. I want to get into Dr. Dre's lawsuit. I believe it's the marriage counselor or someone that he threatened. And I mean, here it is. He has a history of DV and been accused of DV, but yet and still, the Grammy has an award named after this monster. Okay, this is how Hollywood puts these predators on a pedestal, right? And we're supposed to look the other way when we hear all these allegations. Okay, then I want to get into Melyssa Ford speaking out about the men in the industry and the misogyny that goes on in the patriarchy power struggles that women go through in the industry. On the tail end of that, I want to get into Clawfoot Jordan coming for Melyssa Ford. And also Tasha K. Like, she's doing anything in the trend to be valid after she done got her Fox Soul canceled. Okay. And then I want to get into they announced the Met Gala co-chairs. I want to get into Elon Musk and all this Tesla rollout he's doing. I can't stand those ugly cars. And then in the wake of Hurricane Milton, and prayers up to all the people down, all the Floridians that suffered from this, I want to get into Lieutenant Dan. Okay. Scamming the public. All right. Then we're going to get into 50 Cent suing a famous jeweler. And then Aoki Simmons talking about she's ready to quit modeling. And Jaguar Wright responds to Piers Morgan. And then if we have time, we'll get into other things. So please thumbs up this video. Thumbs up the video. Share if you care. Okay? Got a great show lined up for you. Hey, Chris. Oh, yeah. TMZ. They could be bought. Put it like that. Hey, Tarshella. And I think Dustin was in the chat. And to everybody in the bushes, thank you so much for joining me. So please support the channel by thumbs up in the video. Share it out. We're going to get into some very important information. Okay. Shout out to Mims. Make It Make Sense. He's my YouTube friend here. And he does very good commentary. And he... He cracked open the YouTube code. He is growing so fast. He's on his way to 200K. And I'm really, really, really happy for him. But he does some really, really good deep dives. And he's really good at getting all the court documents and things like that. So all these cases that dropped against Diddy, Mims has all the legal docs on his channel. And he did give permission for us to use some of the footage from his channel. We just have to give him credit. So and I'm not going to use his whole video. Yeah, his intros are hilarious. His intros are epic. All right. Love it. All right. So hey D Smith, good morning. Diddy's legal team dropped information saying that he had a hearing coming up, which was yesterday. All right. And on with this hearing, they wanted the judge to hear a third appeal to the Diddler's bond, to see if he can bond out again. All right. Thank you so much. Thank you so much, Tales from the Purgatory. All right. And so then I started to notice that TMZ was rolling out a lot of headlines in regards to the Diddler. And I'm like, what the heck is going on here? He's trying to use the media to deflect and distract, right? Some of the headlines that came out. Diddy's legal team implies Fed leaked the Cassie beating video, okay? And that, look, how did the feds get their hands on it? Period. Then you get the headline, Diddy's mom, twins, daughter visit him in New York jail, right? Trying to drive this narrative that he's a family man, please. Then you have Diddy files appeal to be released from jail as he awaits trial. Okay, that's the hearing that took place yesterday. Then right before this, TMZ released footage of Cassie and Diddy together right before their breakup, right? Cassie forced a smile through 2018 club gig with Diddy months before split, right? So then you have another headline that comes out. Diddy accuser ex claims she offered him $3 million. $3 million bribe to back her story. And I said, ciao. All right. And then they have another headline where they say Diddy mocks unconscious DJ at party. So to me, TMZ is playing both sides of the fence. It's given the diddler paid them off to run certain headlines, but at the same time, they have an agenda. Mind you, TMZ was the first news outlet that dropped that it was a federal investigation on Sean Diddy Combs right when the Cassie lawsuit had came out, right? I remember that because they posted it and then they took it down because I think the feds got on top of them because it was supposed to be a secret investigation, right? I reported on it. I remember when it dropped, okay? All right? So look at this media frenzy that rolled out right before the Diddler's bail hearing yesterday. Right? So I just found it odd. So shout out to Mims because he cracked the case. But I also know like these celebrities, especially when they're in trouble, they are using these media outlets to change or persuade the public's opinion of them. All right. So the one headline that came out that Diddy accuser ex claims she offered him $3 million, and then they were saying that there was text messages, but TMZ never dropped the text messages. So shout out to Mims for getting a hold of those text messages, all right? And then also comparing it to the lawsuit. And we're going to kind of do the same thing. Please thumbs up the video, okay? All of this in the wake leading up to the hearing yesterday. It's given Diddy is desperate. He's desperate to get out of prison or whatever. And I feel like he knows his control is slipping away. All right? But at the end of the day, he's a threat. He's a threat. The whole reason why they detained him when he did, because they weren't planning on detaining him when they did. The whole reason why they did is because they caught evidence of him threatening, harassing, and intimidating witnesses. So they're like, no, we got to lock this dude up, right? And so in the second bail hearing, the prosecution presented text messages from the diddler and phone records to witnesses. All right? So Kalina from Diddy Dirty Money, the group, they said he called her, 50-something times? Then there was text messages of him threatening witnesses, saying he'll put out tapes on them and things like that. All right. So his pattern of behaviors have not changed. And thank God the prosecution recognized that and they did their due diligence to detain him because he's a dangerous man as far as I'm concerned. Right. And then I feel bad because the victims get re-victimized over and over again through the media with all these lies, with them trying to spin a narrative because his legal team, they're trying to convince us that he is innocent of all these charges. And disclaimer, The diddler is innocent until he's proven guilty in a court of law. Okay, these are just allegations right now. All right, so until the U.S. Southern District Attorney proves these allegations, he is an innocent man. All right, but they feel like he's dangerous enough to keep him locked up. All right. Yeah, it only took the government 30 years. It's about time. And I say this over and over again, Tells. Like, I want to see all the police that were in his pocket prosecuted. Because that goes against the oath that they took. You're supposed to protect and serve, but yet you enable this man to continue a crime enterprise through the years. Okay? And I don't care who you are. I don't care how much money you have. You should not be able to be above the law. Hey, Latavia. Hey, everybody, for joining. Please thumbs up the video. Please thumbs up the video, okay? So leading up to the hearing yesterday, it was a whole media frenzy trying to debunk the victims and things like that, trying to spin the narrative, right? They were saying that they had text messages. And then also, Thalia, in her lawsuit, she named Joe also as a offender, as a predator that also preyed on her. Because he participated in the raping and the assault. Now, Joe came out here saying that he's innocent. It wasn't him. He don't know this woman for a can of paint. Hey, Mims. Yes, Mims. Thank you so much for joining, Mims. I appreciate you, and I appreciate all your hard work you're doing over there on your channel. So thank you so much for getting your hands on the text messages, because the public needs to hear this. They need to see how celebrity uses the media to manipulate our point of view and things like that. But I feel bad for the victims because they get re-victimized. They have to relive the trauma all over again. All right, so let's get into these text messages that Mims got. All right, so she not only got text messages between Thalia and her boyfriend, which Mims, and I'm sorry, because of the way my setup is and I don't have a laptop, I can't like show you everything. But he had to black out some of the names to protect certain parties. But Mims, I have to tell you, I pieced it together, brother. I pieced it together. All right. So over here at the Knotty Love Movement, we're on the side of the victim, not the pedos and the predators. Okay. So this first text message that comes up, and just so you know, I'm actually reading them. Okay. It's from November 27th of 2023. It says, I think it's a video. It says, Big Joe taking shots at Diddy. All you old mother effers, okay, need to step down. Stop worrying what the 80s. Stop doing. Take that. Nika doing. This is just a normal conversation. Nika doing that Diddy bop dance. Speak on industry. All right. So in this text message, it looks like Thalia was informed that there's a video of the incident that would happen to her. Okay. And so she responds. Yes, she responds. That's the bastard, saying this is Joe. She's speaking to her boyfriend. She's telling him about what happened to her. And he's telling her, oh, it's on video. And when Mims was reading this, I'm like, this sounds familiar, right? This sounds like a lawsuit. Keep going. Just be patient with me. And so she says, I contacted blank, hopefully, right? Thank you, Mims. Thank you, Mims, for the super chat. I appreciate you. He says, thank you for getting the story out. Share this everywhere. Friends, family, Lipstick Alley, especially the Alley. Her story needs to be told. Mainstream media won't pick up the story. Exactly, Mims. Exactly. And over here on YouTube, we've been doing the work. We've been on the diddler's neck. Okay? So after she said that's the bastard, she said I contacted blank. Hopefully he has a lawyer. And she says, okay, cool. And yes, that's Big Joe, right? And he said, I know. She says, email me a synopsis of that video you seen. So this is him informing Thalia that the incident that happened to her, the graping, it was recorded. Okay? So then she goes on to say, she says something, and they say something, and she can file under the Adult Survivors Act. And she says, okay. She said, think I'm going to file a claim, especially if that damn tape is in rotation. Does Diddy live in New York or in his New Jersey house? Okay. And then the boyfriend says, I have no idea where he lives. Guess attorneys have to find out, she says. She says, I'm sure that's not hard to find out, right? This is her communicating with the boyfriend. And so then she asked him, do you have a good attorney there? And then he says, no, not in contact with any. So then she asked her boyfriend, she says, you're going to have to be my backbone again and testify about the video that Joe was showing everyone in the office. And so then again, I said, this sounds just like a lawsuit. Keep that in mind. Keep that in mind, right? And so then she says, that is like the worst thing they could do to a woman. Record the incapacitation, record her incapacitated and being raped. It is the worst thing. Please thumbs up the video. And so then her boyfriend responds and says, I'm willing to testify if you need me as to what I saw on the video and can talk to your lawyer once you file, but don't want to email anything as I don't want to be the focus of the case. Really don't want that hitting the media with my name attached to it as a, excuse me. He didn't want to be involved. He's willing to testify. He was willing to help, right? But yet we get a headline saying that her ex-boyfriend is saying that she bribed him for $3 million. That gives me pause. Like, the Diddy got to him. He's still in Diddy's pocket, right? And so this is another conversation between Thalia and her man. She said, do you know a Joe Hall? Oh, this is the beginning. Sorry, guys. It came a little out of order. Do you know a Joe Hall? Do you think that's Big Joe's last name? And he says, no idea, in the middle of some stuff. She said, call me when you can. And so then the boyfriend hits back, or she hits him back. She said blank wants to go after Puffy the most because he's the one that has the money. I guess Joe works for MCA Productions or something. So that's secondary. So I guess I'm not on the video. No, yeah, she said, so I guess I'm not on the video. They have, but it's the same MO as the other girls. All right. So I guess once you tell the attorney you've seen the video, then other witnesses will also come and he will file the case. Child. Does that sound like somebody trying to bribe somebody? That sounds like somebody trying to get justice. So then Mims referenced the lawsuit. So I have to give you guys trigger warning. And then after that, we're going to get into other text messages from other people outside of Thalia and her boyfriend that corroborate and verify and confirm what happened to Thalia. But this is the same MO that all these celebrities do, from Chris Brown and everything. Because a young woman just came out recently talking about the Chris Brown situation, and Mem showed footage of Chris Brown discouraging her and saying, oh, she's just mad because she was too ugly to get in my party. This is what these celebrities do when they get caught in some mess and they don't want to be held accountable for their actions. They immediately start a campaign and they use their social media and the media to discredit the victims, and it's not right. Please thumbs up the video. So let's get into parts of the lawsuit. I'm not going to read it all, but just to give y'all an idea. Combs and Sherman proceeded to brutally actually abuse and violate plaintiff. This is from Thalia's lawsuit. Combs mercilessly raped her anally and vaginally. Sherman forcefully slammed plaintiff onto a table, slapped her, and repeatedly thrust his man part into her mouth. Disgusting. Both men were undeterred by plaintiff's cries for help throughout the attack. Plaintiff never recovered from defendant's violent rape. She had suicidal thoughts and ideation and has received extensive psychological treatment because of defendant's attack. For decades, she remained silent and did not report the crime out of fear that the defendant would use their power to ruin her life. And as they had repeatedly explicitly threatened to do, to this day, plaintiff suffers from severe depression, anxiety, panic attacks, and still lives in fear of the defendant. Sounds like another victim I know, Allie Carter. All right? So any progress plaintiff had made in healing, yes, in healing from the attack over the years was dramatically reversed on or around November 27th of 2023 when she learned for the first time that Combs and Sherman had video recorded the horrific rape 22 years before and had shown the video to multiple men seeking to publicly degrade and humiliate both the plaintiff and her boyfriend. Okay? So she makes reference to this in the lawsuit, and the text messages that I read are from, just so y'all can see, November 27th of 2023. Good job, Mims. Excellent job. All right? All right, on to the incident. When the plaintiff regained consciousness, she was naked and her hands were tied behind her back with what felt like a plastic grocery bag. Plaintiff shouted for help. In response, Sherman lifted her up from the couch and forcefully slammed her face down on what was apparently a pool table. Shortly thereafter, Combs entered the room naked. Combs reached for a container of lubricant and smelled like menthol. The lubricant smelled like menthol. Thank you, Be More Shorty. On the way to 5K. Yes, thank you for your donation. Hey, Gracie Boo. All right. Look, notice the description about the lubricant. Combs reached for a container of lubricant that smelled like menthol. Okay. And proceeded to apply it to his man part. He then bent plaintiff over the table, causing her feet to dangle above the floor forcefully and held her down. And anally, y'all fill it in, without her consent. Plaintiff is only 4'11" tall in weight and only 103 pounds at the time. Plaintiff was only unable to move and totally overpowered physically, in addition to being rugged and bound. Sounds familiar? Sounds familiar. Sounds like another lawsuit. Plaintiff screamed out in pain, but Combs continued to violently, anally rape her. He easily physically overpowered her, smashing her down on the pool table while she futilely tried to wriggle out from under him. She vomited, and this did not deter them from, they continued the attack, okay? All right, I want to get to the part when, because it's very drastic. So after the aftermath, the driver drove her to a hospital and tried to convince her to report the rape. and get a grape kit, but she was unable to leave the car, shaking and crying hysterically and terrified of what Combs would do to her. Like, so after you brutally attack me, now I have to be in fear of my life? Like, this is just wrong. This man is exactly where he needs to be. So the aftermath. So plaintiff sustained serious physical injuries in the aftermath of the grape. As noted, she had burning in her vajayjay, her cootie cat, and her anus, okay, and bruising on her wrist and face. In the days after the assault, she suffered prolonged and bleeding and hemorrhoids. Because Combs' power and notoriety, the plaintiff was afraid to report what had happened. She was involved in a contentious divorce and custody battle at the time and feared that reporting the grape would cause her to lose custody of her young child. So plaintiff confided in her boyfriend, Combs' employee, hoping he would comfort and support her. But instead of supporting her, he discouraged her from disclosing the assault, telling her that it could negatively impact his own career. So, like, he didn't even care about her. All he cared about was his career. I mean, it just speaks to the misogyny and the patriarchy and the powers that be that go on in the industry. And it doesn't matter that she was violated and victimized. All he cared about was his career, right? So following the assault and multiple times over the years, both Combs and Sherman contacted plaintiff and warned her to be silent, threatening repercussions, including plaintiff potentially losing custody of her son if she ever disclosed the assault. Because of their enormous power in the industry, including through their ownership of and position at the Combs Corporation, plaintiff knew that they could follow through on their threats. Plaintiff did tell close friends that Combs and Sherman had rugged and savagely raped her, but as noted, was afraid to report the attack to the police out of fear of the defendants. Okay? So that's directly from the lawsuit. All right? But yet they want us to believe that she tried to bribe the ex. All right? So then Mims got some text messages from some of the friends speaking on the situation. I mean, what more proof do people need? We need to be on the side of the victims here. Please thumbs up the video. Please share this content out because I want the facts to be out there so that the diddler can't keep spinning the narrative every time he comes up on a bail hearing. You're not getting out, sir. And you can blame yourself for threatening people. And the New York Southern District Attorney, they had proof. That's why the judge is able to stick to their original complaint. Hey, Juice. All right? They're able to hold the bail over you. Because you think you bigger and badder and more powerful. And you think you could run around and just do what you want. And you can't. Not no more. Not no more. All right. So this is text messages from people outside of the situation, outside of Thalia Graves and her boyfriend, having a conversation about what happened to her. Shout out to Mims again. Thank you for getting these text messages. Because I was like, why isn't TMZ releasing these text messages? I was looking over and over again on the site. And they refused to release them, okay? So it starts off. It says, my sis, I know you. Yes, she called me. The lady in the red was Blank's girlfriend. Mims bleeped out the name, referring to the boyfriend. Hey, Jarrell, good morning. They said, I remember the day it happened. Joe was, hold on. Did I get these out of order? Let me see. It cuts off at Joe was, referring to the security. Then she said, cried at the airport. Oh. Then the person responds and says, oh, he can always call me though. Talking about Thalia's boyfriend. They said, he is so scared. And then they said, they didn't name him, did they? She will have to because he told her about the tape. They're talking about Thalia's boyfriend. So then they go on to say, I just can't believe Puff would get in a tape like that with him. But Joe, I remember that day. We was about to go on tour. Keep that in mind. Go on tour. Or was coming in from someplace. It was around the, okay, and then Mims blinked that out. I remember the girl had a burgundy or red dress that was like a sweater, and Joe kept effing with her. Okay? These are the text messages. Can't fabricate this stuff. Okay? I hope the feds got these. I hope Gloria Allred got them. Okay? Okay, and then the person responds, yeah, I remember that day. I remember Joe was effing with her bad. The girl told me blank wasn't there. Said Diddy and Joe picked her up from her house and told her they needed to talk to her about blank, her boyfriend, because his job was at risk. So basically, they were trying to leverage Thalia. They used her boyfriend's job to lure her in. This is diabolical. In Joe's burgundy truck. But Joe been doing this stuff for years. Mind you, he got a corn business, all right? So then they go on to say, I remember the boys talking about it. I should have tried to reach out and help the girl, right? Did you reach back out to the girl? I just sent her a message. So then they respond, I didn't because I also thought me saying something would put my name way out there and I'm not making a dime for the stretch. You let me know. This goes to show that there are witnesses. There are witnesses that can corroborate. There were people around to corroborate the goings-ons that happened at Daddy's house in the studio. And so then they go on to say, it was true what was on the tape. He did that to a lot of women. Damn. So everyone seen Thalia. Name her by name. Okay? Damn. So everyone seen Thalia was her name. Get great and blank to deal with and expected such and such to deal with it. From what I've heard, that girl was physically hurt from being tied up and raped. I just read y'all the lawsuit to corroborate these text messages and her injuries that she sustained. And so then they referred to her boyfriend. He was hurt too. And Joe kept effing. It was true what was on the tape. He did that to a lot of women. Damn. So everyone seen Thalia. Sorry, that was a repeat. All right. So then they go on to say, it's Puffy's office, the little room. That's where it happened at. Please thumbs up the video. I bet blank, the boyfriend, that's still his friend 28 years later. That shows you they are friends still. Hence the headline that came out. Why? Because Diddy wants bail. And let me tell you, his children are puppets. He left them with instructions. They are communicating with these people. I don't care. Them boys are communicating with these people. So then they said, did she remember what Puff's lounge looked like? And so then the person responded, she described it to me. And what she described was his office. And why I remember that turned the office into a studio. And I think Stevie was working. Hold on, let me go. Stevie J, you know, Diddy boyfriend. Thank you, Miss Stevie. I remember very well. Joe was like, all right, I remember very well. Joe was like, I'll eat your ussy and lick your ass. Then said, I take ussy. So this is a whole rapist environment. It's okay. Because Joe comfortable saying these type of things. And so then they say, yeah, that office was Puff's personal space. Remember when the equipment was in there? Hey, Say Hudson, we read in real live text messages. Remember TMZ said that Thalia tried to bribe her ex for $3 million and they had the text messages and they didn't release them. Well, Mims, shout out to Make It Make Sense, because over here at Naughty Love Movement, we give credit. Joe is the security guard named in Thalia's lawsuit who raped her alongside the diddler. And I have commentary from him denying all these allegations. We'll get into that. Okay? Let me see. Wait. All right. So last name. Remember when the equipment was in there, right? So Joe roughed up the woman, rugged them, so Puff can finish the job, right? So then they go on to say, that's the confusing part. I know Puff was there. Thumbs up this video. I would like to help the girl. As you should. I think Joe picked her up, like off the ground. This is people having a conversation outside of Thalia about the situation. Then they go on to say, I can't believe we survived this bullshit. Bullshit, okay? Look, I can't believe we survived this bullshit and they blackball us. That's what they do. If you don't go along with their program, if you don't get down with the get down, the graping, the SAing, the homosexual acts and things like that, they blackball you. Choke No Joke even spoke to that on Piers Morgan. When he started recognizing that, it was like homosexuality going on and things like that, and they seen that he wasn't down to go along to get along, they made it harder for him to get jobs. So he had to make his own way. So then they respond in a choke. I'm glad God, you is real love. And then they go on to say, damn, that girl is like under 5 foot and was super small. Dude is in trouble spiritually. I remember. Please thumbs up the video. And shout out to Mims. So then they go on to say, yeah, they moved some from Studio B, but I don't remember where they took it. So many females say he did that to them. I was in his office and Stevie J was working on Mary. Here's Stevie J again. Mary J. Blige coming up. So they say, get back, but you am so strong. And so he said, mine too, bro. Maybe we should start talking publicly and help these victims. So yes, Creepy J. Let's talk later. Let's build. Okay. Blank sent you a IG. That's the boyfriend, I believe. All right. So then let's get into Joe's text messages. So before we get into Joe's text messages, I want you guys to hear what his commentary was when this lawsuit dropped. He had no problems with coming out trying to debunk. And I say a hit dog will holler. And if you don't have nothing to hide, what are you scared of, bro? What are you scared of? But as soon as he started talking, I was like, he lying. He is lying. Let me see. I'm going to go to Unwind with Tasha K. To get it. I think she has the easiest one to get to. She is so funny. Please thumbs up the video. Here we go. This is Joe, the bodyguard, speaking out in regards to Thalia's claims she made in her lawsuit. Here we go. Please thumbs up the video. This is Joe. Let's put a face.
It's a lie on me. That's all I'm saying. Big Joe Sherman wants you to look at his face and listen. I don't know this lady from anywhere. You've never met her. Never in my life. He's talking about this woman.
Let me start it over. Sorry, guys. Here we go.
It's a lie on me. That's all I'm saying. Big Joe Sherman wants you to look at his face and listen. I don't know this lady from anywhere. You've never met her. Never in my life. He's talking about this woman, Thalia Graves, who appeared at a highly promoted news conference last week with attorney Gloria Allred.
The trauma of the assault has taken a toll on my mental health.
The attorney for Graves announcing a federal lawsuit claiming that in 2001, the then 25-year-old was drugged and bound and viciously raped in the Manhattan headquarters of Bad Boy Entertainment by music mogul Sean Diddy Combs with his bodyguard and head of security Joe Sherman. I'm not questioning her integrity. I'm questioning her claims against me. I wasn't the head of the security. You got the wrong man. I've never seen you. I've never did anything negative with you. I've never been in the same room with you. Not only wasn't I there, and even in New York. Sherman says he did security for Bad Boy Records in the 90s, but wasn't working for the company in 2001. Here's me and Mariah Carey. Sherman provided us with his personal album of photos with celebrity clients he says he's protected over the years. Me and Beyonce. He says he did see Diddy at industry parties after Sherman left the company, but there was no relationship. Big Joe maintains he is being set up by false accusations. Her and whoever that she's in cahoots with was orchestrating a money grab, and she wanted me to be part of that money grab. It says it right in her texts. And she wanted to get Diddy. Sherman showed us texts from an Instagram account starting last November. He says his team has linked to Graves. We confirmed the connection. The first text asked if Sherman was a security guard for Puffy. She confused me because she kept saying, "Are you Big Joe?" I said, "Wasn't even in New York." On my Instagram. When she asked, "Are you Big Joe?" what did that mean to you? That means that she don't know who I am. The text asked him to call the number and goes on to say, "If you will be my witness against Diddy, then my attorneys will leave you out of any proceedings because we have statements that you physically showed over 8 people, videos of me and you to people in the studio." Sherman responded, "I don't know what the expletive you talking about. Know who the expletive you are." He was still named in the lawsuit. Was there any video? Not only was there never a video, I never saw the woman. I'm nothing but a scapegoat for this involved in a company that produces and distributes pornography. I don't show nude women. He says his media outlets publish urban rap magazines that often feature scantily clad women, arguing the photos are similar to ones he's posted on social media. Am I wrong for having fun on my birthday? Yes.
Shut up, Joe. Shut up. I can't even with him, okay? So he's trying to gaslight us and make us believe that he has nothing to do with this or whatever. He shows these text messages, which I don't understand. I don't think they're, because it said Instagram user. It didn't have any names. I don't know if they're real or not. Shout out to Unwind with Tasha K for that footage. Everything we discuss here falls under fair use commentary. Please thumbs up the video. So let's get into these text messages that Joe is talking about, okay? Because Mims got his hands on those too. Thumbs up the video. Please share it out, okay? That's the free way of supporting the channel. All right. So as we heard in the commentary from Unwind with Tasha K, I will make sure that the state does not pick up charges or grape charges against you. I also understand that was 2001, but this was the normal behavior for you guys. But then we women have to deal with the repercussions and the trauma you guys leave us. So then she goes on to say, like I explained before, if you will be my witness against Diddy, then my attorneys will leave you out of any proceedings because we have statements that you physically showed over 8 people videos of me and you 2 people in the studio. So if you are willing to give me a statement about my grape against puffy, then the attorneys won't go after you for revenge corn or distribution. So you heard in that commentary, he has a corn distribution business. Like, this guy is seedy and shady as far as I'm concerned. At the end of the day, I feel like Thalia was just trying to do her due diligence to establish her case and get as many witnesses and also get the tape taken down, because nobody wants tape of them being passed out, raped, assaulted, circulating. And why anyone would take any pleasure in watching something like that, like, you gotta be a sick person. He has a smooth type of magazine, not corn. I get it. Happy Friday, grown woman. You said you don't trust Joe or the lady accusing him. Everybody crazy. But I just want to highlight, this is why we got like all these headlines from TMZ. Number one, Diddy was up for another hearing. He's trying to get bail. So he's trying to do anything to discredit the victims. He's trying to do anything to put him in a good light. That's why you got Diddy's mom, twins, daughters visit him in the New York jail. Right? So after Mims went through these text messages, right, he also brought up another lawsuit. And I'm just going to do a little bit of this commentary because I just want you guys to hear this commentary. And then I like kind of tied this together on my own. So shout out to Mims. Thank you, Mickey made it. Thank you. Hey, Marva. Hey, everybody joining. Please thumbs up the video. Please thumbs up the video. So this is Mims' video he did the other day. It's called Exclusive. Diddy and TMZ exposed victim blaming to get bail. And I believe that's what it is. I totally agree, Mims. Okay. So let's get into this last lawsuit that he brought up. Okay. Here we go. Gotta let the commercial play. Thank you all for joining me. I appreciate y'all. And so once Mims did this, I was like, aha.
This was the girl who said that she was picked up by two people, two bad boy people, one being Harvey Pierre, the president of Bad Boy, who went into the bathroom to go smoke some crack before assaulting her.
Y'all allegedly. Remember that lawsuit? And she was a minor. So they flew her from Detroit to Teterboro Airport in New Jersey and then transported her to Daddy's studios, okay? And from there, she was gangbanged, basically. That's a nicer way of putting it. Gangbanged by multiple people in the studio, including Pierre, who was high on crack, okay? And everybody else that was in there, right? So when he was reading this, I said, aha.
But there was a third assailant that we all were like, why isn't this person named? Did the victim forget who the name was, or did the victim not know? Was it just a bodyguard that was around? Allegedly, it was Ricardo.
Okay, and just so you know, Mims was calling during this live Thalia's boyfriend. He didn't want to give his real name, but it was Ricardo, right? So not only did Ricardo, after his girlfriend was brutally attacked and assaulted, not only did he remain working there, he became one of them. He became a Joe, a diddler. And that's where Mims connected the dots. But I connected the dots even more after this. Here we go.
It says specifically in 2003, when she was 17 years old and in the 11th grade, Miss Joe was sex trafficked and gang R-worded by Mr. Combs, Mr. Pierre, and a third assailant. When she was just a teenager, Miss Doe met Mr. Pierre and the third assailant in a lounge in Detroit, Michigan area. While at the lounge, Mr. Pierre insisted that he was best friends with Mr. Combs, even called Mr. Combs with Miss Doe. Mr. Combs convinced Miss Doe, who was half his age at the time, to accompany Mr. Pierre and the third assailant on a private jet to come to his studio in New York City. Before they left for the private jet, Mr. Pierre smoked crack cocaine in the bathroom at the... I don't know why I said crack cocaine like that, but I did. Smoked crack cocaine in a bathroom at the lounge, in which he also assaulted Ms. Doe by forcing her to give him oral. There's a footnote. Shout out to Girl Is That Legal, who remembered that there was a footnote. The third assailant is a pseudonym. When the name of the third assailant is revealed during discovery, plaintiff will seek to amend the complaint to replace the pseudonym. So here's what I'm thinking happened there. This Ricardo allegedly was not named in this complaint because Ricardo seemed like he was willing to work with the victims.
That's how he came off. Same thing with Thalia.
We're reading what we're reading on TMZ.
Right? The same thing with Thalia. He said, well, I'm willing to testify to what I saw in the tape. And then I also remember another lawsuit with that involved Aaron Hall, right? Where a member of Jodeci let the victim know that she was on videotape. See a pattern? See a pattern?
He's backtracked from that. But this part blew my mind because we were really racking our brains when this complaint came out. Like, who could the third person be? Mr. Pierre, third assailant, and another gentleman that escorted the high schooler to a private jet, which flew them to Teterboro, New Jersey. There was an SUV awaiting the group at Teterboro, and the four of them were driven to Daddy's House Recording Studio, a studio famously owned and operated by Mr. Combs and Bad Boy. While at the studio, Mr. Combs and his associate, including Mr. Pierre, plied Miss Doe with drugs and alcohol. As the night wore on, the 17-year-old Miss Doe became more and more inebriated, eventually to the point that she could not possibly have consented to having sex with anyone, much less someone twice her age. While at the studio, Miss Doe was gang R-worded by Mr. Combs, the third assailant, and Mr. Pierre. While Mr. Combs was R-wording Miss Doe, he complained that he could not get off unless she pinched his nipples as hard as she could. Mr. Combs then watched on as the third assailant, who Miss Doe had not even realized had begun to have sex with her, R-worded Miss Doe as she told him to stop. After the third assailant was finished, Mr. Pierre took his turn R-wording Miss Doe and then violently forced her to give him oral, during which Miss Doe was choking and struggling to breathe. Remember, this is a 17-year-old girl in high school, 11th grade to be exact. When Mr. Pierre finished, he left Miss Doe in the bathroom alone. Miss Doe fell into the fetal position and lay on the floor. Her lady part was in pain. Finally, after a period of time, Miss Doe regained her bearings. However, she could barely stand up following the gang R-word and had to be helped to walk out of the building and back into a car. She was taken back to an airport and flown back to Michigan. However, she has very limited recollection of her transport home and only remembers being in her car sometime early in the morning.
Okay, and then in this lawsuit, there are pictures included, right? Now, it is believed, all right, and this is just in my opinion and piecing things together and stuff like that. This possibly could be Tiara Marie. She's from Detroit. She was around that age when she got into the industry, right? That she's still listed as a Jane Doe. But right after Mims did this live, then another amendment to a lawsuit dropped this week. And shout out to All Hip Hop. Jodeci's Devonte Swing named co-defendant in Diddy and Aaron Hall lawsuit. Come and talk to me. I really wanna see you. Can I talk to you? Come on, thumbs up this video. Let's see what this say, okay? Who is Thalia's ex-boyfriend? So Devonte Swing has been named as a co-defendant in a lawsuit from a woman claiming Diddy and Aaron Hall took turns assaulting her. Jodeci Devonte Swing is the latest celebrity caught up in the allegations surrounding Sean Diddy Combs after he was named in a lawsuit against the incarcerated mogul and Aaron Hall. So back in November, Liza Gardner filed a lawsuit alleging Diddy and Aaron Hall took turns assaulting her at Hall's apartment in the early 1990s. She claimed she was just 16 years old when the alleged attack took place. So Gardner alleged she was coerced into having sex with Combs before Hall barged into the room, pinned her down, and forced Gardner to have sex with him. She also claims Diddy turned violent days after the alleged assault. In an amended complaint, Gardner named Devonte Swing as a new co-defendant in the suit, Rolling Stone reports. Gardner claims that Jodeci singer was not only present at Hall's home during the attack, but in the room at the time. Unbeknownst to Ms. Gardner, at the time, defendant Swing was in the room when the assault took place and did not take any steps to prevent this abuse from occurring. The amended lawsuit obtained by Rolling Stone. So early this year, Gardner's friend filed statements claiming she witnessed Swing watching whatever Puffy was doing to Liza. And I remember in one of the lawsuits, Jodeci was going around telling the girl, like, you on video, you on tape, okay? So further, Gardner states she had traveled to New York with Swing and a group of friends and was staying with the singer. She claimed he was her co-guardian at the time and had duty to protect the child as her parent entrusted him with her. Why would her parents hand her over to him? The complaint alleges Swing trafficked and or coerced the child to travel across state lines from North Carolina to New York and New Jersey with hidden intentions of providing the child with alcohol, marijuana, prostituting the child to his A.R. Combs. And this is the lawsuit when Diddy came out and said that this is nothing but a money grab. So Swing is yet to respond to the allegations. When Gardner filed her lawsuit last November, a spokesperson for Diddy denied the claims in a statement to All Hip Hop. These are fabricated claims falsely alleging misconduct from over 30 years ago and filed at the last minute. This is nothing but a money grab, the rep stated. So because of Mr. Combs' fame and success, he is an easy target for anonymous accusers who lie without conscience and consequences for financial benefit. Child, could Devonte be Thalia's ex-boyfriend? I don't know. It's just a thought that came to me. It's a thought. All these guys are Thank you all for joining me. I don't know. I just kind of connected dots, and Jodeci was in very close proximity with Diddy back in the day.
Like many of the victims who've come forward, Ms. Doe can prove that she not only met Mr. Combs on the night, but was in his studio. You guys remember this picture.
All right, this girl has pictures included with her lawsuit. We got to believe the victims. I'm sorry.
Ms. Doe has lived with the memories of the fateful night for 20 years, during which time she has suffered extreme emotional distress that has impacted nearly every aspect of her life and personal relationships. Given the brave women who have come forward against Mr. Combs and Mr. Pierre in recent weeks, Ms. Doe is doing the same.
This is just sad. It's terrible. You do have a lot of people, but I don't even think it's about the money. I think it's more about exposing what the music industry is full of, which is predators, rapists, SAers, allegedly. Okay? Allegedly. This is the underbelly of the industry. This is what they used to do. All right? So you have this press tour that is rolled out by TMZ right up until the point where the diddler has his hearing, right? yesterday. Because why? He's trying to get bail. He's trying to get bailed out, and he's trying to garner sympathy from the public. Now, he had his hearing yesterday, and the family showed up to support him at court. All right. I mean, that's to be expected. But his mom got heckled. His mom got heckled. And I feel like his mom got heckled because she put out that statement. And once again, it kind of gave me like, Carisha, please. Like, no sympathy for the victims, no accountability. She would have been better off just staying quiet. All right. So shout out to Morning Juice Box for this footage. They caught the footage of the family arriving to court yesterday in Brooklyn. Here we go. And Miss Combs was heckled.
He's a predator and he deserves to be locked up.
When's the last time you spoke to your son?
He's a predator. Do an interview with me.
When's the last time you spoke to your
He's a
son?
predator and he deserves to be locked up.
Okay, people are
Last time you spoke to your
He's a
son?
predator.
And here's the kids.
Take care of those girls, Quincy. What do you want to say about your father? Take care of those girls. Your daughter?
You guys stay together.
Spoken to your father?
Quincy,
Have you spoken to your father?
take care of those girls, Quincy.
What do you want to say about your
Take care
father?
of those girls.
Your daughter?
You guys stay together.
Okay, it's sad because the kids are suffering. Well, it's the girls, the young girls, they are suffering for the sins of their father and their grandmother, as far as I'm concerned. Okay, y'all heard it. They're heckling her like, your son is a predator. He deserves to be there, and this and that. You know, I think Janice, she would have been better off just staying quiet, because her history is not really that favorable. I mean, she's a former madam, and I truly believe, like, the diddler got a lot of his ways from her practices. All right. So then we have the court hearings. So let me go over to shout out to Megan Kuniff, because she's always on these cases. And she has like the court records of what happened. As previewed earlier on, Sean Diddy Codes have filed a motion requesting evidentiary hearing into what they describe as leaks of the grand jury evidence by federal authorities, including the 2016 video of Diddy assaulting Cassie. Okay, so the Diddy's team, Diddy's team is trying to say, and it looks like he's trying to line up a lawsuit. They're trying to say that the feds leak the video of him and Cassie and when he was knocking her between the washer and dryer at that hotel, right? It's crazy. So he's trying to garner sympathy from the judge by doing this. He thinks he can manipulate the justice system. Why? Because they have let him get away with things all these years. So he still feels like he can manipulate his way out of this, or he could pay his way out of this. They're trying to say, oh, the feds, they leaked the tape, and that's going to make the jury prejudice against me, and this and that. Let me tell you, the feds do things like this all the time. Just like the police can lie to you when they're interrogating you, the feds can leak whatever video. But, like, how did the feds get their hands on the video? That's my question. Did they get it in the raids? How'd they get their hands on that video? That's the question. So let's read what happened in court yesterday. So the defendant, Sean Combs, moves for four forms of relief related to what the defense believes was a series of unlawful government leaks, which have led to damaging, highly presidential pretrial publicity that can only taint the jury pool and deprive Mr. Combs of his right to a fair trial. All right, so Mr. Combs requests one, an evidentiary hearing to examine the government's misconduct in connection with the leaks. Discovery of emails, documents, and records in possession of the government, including DHS, related to those leaks. A gag order prohibiting government personnel from disclosing any evidence or investigative materials related to the case to any member of the media, and suppression of any evidence leaked by the government employees in violation of federal rule of criminal procedure or any other law, rule, or regulation. Okay? The available evidence makes a prima facie showing that the government, primarily through DHS, has engaged in a 7-month campaign with three objects: preventing Mr. Combs from getting fair consideration by the grand jury, preventing him from getting a fair trial, and strategically leaking confidential grand jury material and information, including the 2016 intercontinental videotape, in order to prejudice the public and potential jurors against Mr. Combs. Wow, Mr. Combs is the victim here, okay? So the government schemes to undermine Mr. Combs' right to a fair proceeding has several methods and means. First, there has been a steady stream of false and prejudiced statements made by DHS agents to various press outlets over the last 7 months. Second, the agents engaged in a particularly brutal and public search of Mr. Combs' homes, during which they handcuffed Mr. Combs' innocent sons and then marched them before a news helicopter in the press. This was an apparent effort to convey that they had overwhelming evidence against Mr. Combs, justifying the public and brutal treatment of even his children. Why we keep throwing the kids in this? They grown. They not kids. They grown men. Okay? Who were handcuffed and manhandled by federal agents armed with assault rifles. Third, government employees have repeatedly leaked grand jury information and material to press to raise public hostility against Mr. Combs in advance of the trial. The most egregious example of this is the leaked CNN of the 2016 videotape from the Intercontinental Hotel in Los Angeles. And this is my thing. How you know the feds leaked it? It could have been somebody from Diddy camp. I'm just saying. If he had possession of the tape, it could have been somebody from his camp. As detailed below, the CNN leak was but one of a long and documented history of leaks and false statements made with one purpose: to savage Mr. Combs' reputation prior to trial. While the government's misconduct in the case is particularly egregious, it is an unfortunate part of a trend in the district. The government has learned that it can strategically leak information with impunity. This court should exercise its authority to prohibit these underhanded tactics, which severely undermine a criminal defendant's right to a fair trial. Ciao. This is what they argued to the judge yesterday. Thumbs up the video, okay? This is why the diddler, #NoDiddy, deserves bail, because the government leaked footage that to tarnish his character prior to indictment. But the thing is, this is just, you have to have proof they did that. Where's the evidence? This is just mumblings and words. Where's the evidence they did that? Like I said, if Diddy had the possession of the tape, and as much as footage as Little Rod has and things like that, how do you know Little Rod didn't leak the footage to CNN as leverage for his lawsuit, because he's having trouble serving the diddler? Well, he'll be able to serve him now. Now he know where he is, right? How do you know it came from the feds? CNN did not reveal their source, okay? They would be stupid. All right, so at the outset, the defense wants to be clear with the court as to what our theory is and is not. We do not contend that the leaks were orchestrated by the U.S. Attorney Office. Rather, we contend that the false media statement and the grand jury leaks complained of below were planned and executed by DHS. As the parties develop more information in this regard, the court will see that the defense repeatedly contacted the prosecutors and stated in substance that their agents were leaking information to the press. Yet, regardless of what, if any, actions the U.S. Attorney's Office took, the leak continued even until after the arrest. The reason a hearing is needed is to determine exactly what the DHS did and did not do regarding these leaks, and what the U.S. Attorney's Office did and did not do to stop them. The evidence of the government's misconduct is clear enough already that this court is justified in using its authority to craft appropriate remedies. Mr. Combs requests that this court order discovery and evidentiary hearing to investigate the government's misconduct. The abuse here is clear, but without a hearing, it remains unknown how far or what the abuse reached. United States versus Walter. That's the court ordinance that they're referencing, the United States versus Walter. So they're saying an evidentiary hearing is thus necessary. In addition of the hearing demonstrates that the violation of grand jury's secrecy was intentional, as we expect it will. The court should order the suppression of the videotape and or any other illegally disclosed evidence, as well as other potential sanctions. Well, it just comes off that it's they're trying any and everything, and the first lawyer was horrible. He's talking about, oh, why would he run? He has children and this and that or whatever. He was horrible. So after this, the request for immediate release pending decision on the bail motion by a 3-judge panel is denied. All right. The Second Circuit U.S. Court of Appeals has handed Sean Diddy Combs another loss, but he still has his main request pending before 3-judge panel. And so this is, hold on, this is the request. United States Court of Appeals for the Second Circuit at a stated term of the United States Courts of Appeals for the Second Circuit held at the Thurgood Marshall United States Courthouse, 40 Felony Square in New York City on the 10th day of October. All right. And it just came before Judge William J. Nardini versus Sean Combs, a.k.a. sealed defendant 1. So the appellate, Sean Combs, moved for bail and for immediate release pending disposition of the bail motion. He also requests leave to file his bail motion under seal with partial redaction. It is hereby ordered that the motion for the bail is referred to a 3-judge panel, and the request for immediate release pending decision on the bail motion by a 3-judge panel is denied. The motion to seal is granted. So that's where we stand, Naughty Crew. That's where we stand, all right? So, of course, his lawyers came out to speak after all of this. Please thumbs up the video and share this out. Yes. Yes. So, thank you to Megan Kuniff, who's got her feet on the ground, baby. And I am trying to figure out if I want to go to court or not, all right? So, here's what his lawyers have to say. Let me see. Inside Diddy's contentious pretrial hearing, the short hearing in front of the judge, and found the bad boy mogul boy into the courtroom dressed in a wrinkled tan button down. So they gave a description. Shout out to Complex Magazine of what he looked like. He was brought in front of a judge and he found the bad boy mogul brought into the courtroom dressed in a wrinkled tan button-down shirt and matching pants. He appeared in good spirits, smiling and blowing kisses at his family members in the building. Okay? So they have now set the trial date for May the 5th of 2025. There were no objections for either side. Prosecutor Emily Johnson estimated that it would take the government about 3 weeks to present their case, while Diddy's lead attorney, Mark Agnafilo, excuse me, I always say his name wrong, estimated his side would take a week for their defense, because they really ain't got one, to be quite honest. So most of the hearings centered around how quickly and what order Diddy's legal team would receive the information found on the 96 electronic devices the government took in their searches of Diddy's home back in March. So a contentious moment came towards the end of the hearing when Agnafella, Diddy's attorney, raised an issue he originally addressed in a memo Wednesday night, that he believes Homeland Security agents have been leaking materials about his client, including the Cassie Ventura video. We got into all of that. The concern is that the agents have been leaking. Sorry, they repeated that. All right, and so they quoted, the best words for my clients are that he remains in the custody, and those are the magic words. Okay, so he's remanded. All right, so here's his other lawyer, because he's trying to create a dream team of lawyers for his defense, and Lord knows he's going to need it. Okay, so who is this? Shout out to Nicole Everything. Here we go.
How's he doing? He's doing fine. Dr. King called it the law of unintended consequences. So sometimes the more you push a person down, the stronger they get. And so he's making an adjustment. He had his family here today to support him. We really want to put an end to all of the clowning that we see on the internet. This is a serious proceeding with serious consequences, and all of us are addressing it accordingly.
Anthony, is it a racist proceeding, as Marcus said? He's okay to stay in for now?
Nobody's okay with staying in jail for now. Okay, thank you very much. That's it for today.
Video and the facts.
All right, so that's what Diddy's other attorney had to say. I did see that Gloria Allred was there. Hey, Tarshala. Hey, everybody. She was also there. I couldn't make out what all she was saying. I really, really couldn't make it out. But that's what I have for the Diddlers updates. Y'all let me know what y'all think in the comments, okay? But we should expect the media is going to play a big role in this trial, as you can see. And TMZ, to me, is playing both sides of the fence, right? So is this giving, like, Diddy paid them and things like that? I mean, and then they have the whole Tubi special, The Downfall of Diddy or whatever. So it's just weird. It's just weird, their position. So I'm looking for the trial set for May the 5th of 2025. Be More Shuddy said, I think it's time for Miss Allred to retire and let her daughter keep practicing. Hey, Smiling with Erin. All right, so I hope you guys were able to follow my spill here. And shout out to Make It Make Sense for getting the text message. Because I swear, Mems, I was on TMZ like, where's the text messages? Where's the text messages? Why didn't they drop the text messages? Since they have all... Because it's a whole farce, okay? Hey, Dustin. It's a whole farce so that they could garner sympathy for the diddler, okay? These celebrities play these media outlets to speak in their favor. They do that. Up next, I want to get into, since we spoke about the misogyny that goes on in the industry, right? The male dominance, how they mistreat women, how they treat women like they're just property and like they're not human beings. Thank you so much, Tarshella. That means the world. I thought I want to bring accounts from a major video vixen, Melyssa Ford. She was in the game for a long time, and she spoke about this on Carlos King, but she is speaking loud and proud about the misogyny that goes on in the industry. And I thought this kind of validates the victims. Oh, excuse me. Did I mention that Carlissa had the nerve to stick up for Janice Combs? I don't even want to play her because she get on my nerves. I can't. I'm not even going to give her any energy. So yes, Melyssa Ford, she was like a top video vixen back in the day. I really respect her. I loved her on a reality show of Blood, Sweat, and Tears because she was trying to change her career. She wanted to get away from that lifestyle, so she became a real estate agent, and now she sits on Joe Budden's podcast, which I can't stand, but I can't stand Joe, but I respect the hustle or whatever. But she's speaking about the mentality and the attitudes of the men in the industry. Shout out to the Shade Room. I love when she speaks because she's very intelligent, because she's a wordsmith, and she kind of like challenges you with her range with vocabulary and things like that. But let's hear what she has to say. Shout out to the Shade Room. Here we go.
Who has, some would say, survived hip hop and the evolution of it. Where we are right now with all these different scandals and people being revealed, do you feel like there's some type of hunt on black men in Hollywood, or do you just feel the floodgates are starting to open for stuff that should have been revealed a long time ago?
When chickens come home to roost, that's yeah. When we're talking about just anybody, not just black men, what was his name, Epstein and Harvey Weinstein and whoever else got, kind of wrapped up in the whole, Me Too rigmarole and whatnot. It's, we're talking about decades of bad behavior. We're talking about decades of predatory behavior that went unchecked. So in my opinion, no, it's not a hunt on any specific group of men. It is just men with predatory instincts that, who had power and money and influence and enablers and enforcers to do their dirty work for them. And it went unchecked for a really long time. And now chickens are coming home to roost.
Love it.
The bottom line.
That's the bottom line. It doesn't have anything to do with race or anything. Do I believe the diddler pissed some higher ups off? Absolutely. I showed on my channel, his connection to the Trump family, right? He was all around Trump. And then all of a sudden, he's speaking out against Trump, talking about starting his own political party. And it's like, what changed? Even Donald Trump Jr. came out and spoke about Kim Porter and how she was friends with his ex-wife because they modeled together. And he made mention of being at the parties. And when Kim Porter passed, his ex-wife called him and said, something ain't right there, right? So you had all these ties with the Trump family. Now all of a sudden you speaking against Trump. And I also take you back to Jonathan Odie's video, which I showed several times on this channel. Please check out my past videos. He even spoke of, number one, Diddy belonging to the Boule, Diddy, Khaled, and Rick Ross being gay, and how it's an agenda to take down Trump, but Trump is too alpha. That's how the politics ties into this, right? Odie also mentioned how they were using the alcohol, the yachts, and the private jets to transport DRUGSs, women, and everything else, okay? So, Melyssa Ford is right. This is bad behavior that has been allowed to go on for a course of 30 years. And now it's time for them all to be accountable for their actions. Right. Right, Be More Shorty. Because what were they doing at them parties? And I showed you all the pictures on my channel, Knotty Crew. All the pictures of the diddler cozying up to Trump, right? And then all of a sudden, he's like, this guy is not good for the culture. I'm going to start my own political party. And that's when I think it wasn't just Diageo he pissed off. You mess with these politicians, they come for your throat. They come for your throat. So I agree with Melyssa Ford. It doesn't have anything to do with race or anything. It has everything to do with an industry that has been coddled, right? And because they have money, power, they allow the bad behavior to go, right? And hence, he's locked up, still using his power in the media to try to garner sympathy from the public. And I'm here to say, I'm not going to buy it. And it makes me wonder because Teresa Rhodes, who is a famous actress, right? She was recently arrested, but she hasn't been looking good lately. She has not been looking good. And I don't know if she's sick or not, but I know she was not on the last couple of Bad Boy installments. And it makes me wonder, like, what happened to her? Hey, James, what happened to her? Why is she trying to stay away from Hollywood? Did she have some of these same encounters? All right. And for those of you who don't, excuse me, I said her name wrong. Her name is Teresa Randle. For those of you who do not know her, she played Martin Lawrence's wife in the Bad Boy install. She also played in Sugar Hill. She played on a ton of movies. Let me just give you guys a refresher before we give into the current commentary for those of you who are not aware of her, okay? But she was saying that she was forced to quit Hollywood. So here we go.
It looks like Teresa Randle has not exactly been having a great time in the past couple of months, maybe even years, because the new reports about her have been very concerning. She has been kind of absent from the movie scene in a while, and word on the streets is that she is being forced out of Hollywood. Well, she's now speaking up about this drama, and y'all are not going to believe how messed up and shady they're treating her. Teresa Randle hasn't really been active in Hollywood for the past couple of years. Yeah, I know that she's done a couple of movies and had a few appearances in shows here and there, but it's just been so few and far apart, if y'all know what I mean. But then, she has never really seemed like the type of person to enjoy being in the spotlight. She is an extremely private person, and the only thing we know about her are the things she lets us know. I'm willing to bet that most of y'all don't even know that she's been married to rapper Father MC, and they've been together for a really long time. They don't even have social media, and if that doesn't scream privacy to y'all, then I don't know what does. I mean, the only thing we know is that they're married and have 2 kids, and considering the fact that most celebs like to share everything about their lives, Teresa is certainly one of the most private actresses in the game. The last time she really made waves was back in 2020 when she appeared in the movie Bad Boys for Life. Bad Boys for Life is the 3rd film in the franchise, and she has been in the series right from the very beginning. I'm talking as far back as the first Bad Boy movie in 1995. She has been in a couple of movies in her career, including some big ones like Malcolm X and the original 1996 Space Jam movie, but I think we can all agree that she is best known for her role in the Bad Boys franchise. I mean, even if she ain't gonna book a job, she's for sure gonna book a job on Bad Boys because she has been playing the same role for almost 30 years now. So it was kind of surprising when they announced a 4th Bad Boys movie, but then they said that Teresa would not be reprising her role as Teresa Burnett, and that Tasha Smith will be taking over as Teresa Burnett. Now, I love Tasha, but Teresa has been playing this role for a very long time and already knows her character better than most people. Plus, she was the only cast member to get recast for the upcoming movie, so when I tell y'all that the alarm bells started ringing, I mean, it's not common for an actress to get recast for just no reason. And when it does happen, it's mostly because of scheduling conflicts. But when it comes to Teresa, she isn't really popping in Hollywood right now. Plus,
All right, so that's just a little background on Teresa Randle, just to, give y'all some familiarity, all right? And then the next time we saw her, she was on the streets of Hollywood. Y'all notice we haven't seen, before the diddler got locked up, it was pictures of love combs everywhere. Now all of a sudden, her and her mama are incognito. I wonder why, okay? So the next time we saw her, she was on the streets of Hollywood, right? Here we go.
Okay,
so your mama need to come get you. How about that? Your mama, she ain't far. She
And it's like, what happened to her? This is a beautiful woman. I loved her acting ability and things like that.
Okay, so your mama need to come get you. How about that? Your mama, she ain't far. She
I'm like, what happened to her? Or whatever. Well, here recently, they announced that she was arrested. And I'm like, whoa, not my girl. What's going on? Yeah, I'm thinking her health isn't the best, too. And it's like, where is Father MC? Come get your wife. So she was recently arrested, and it seems like it's on some domestic violence type of stuff. Hold on, let me just grab the article. Father MC is talking to Vladimir. Really? In the art of dialogue. That's why she didn't do any bad boy movies. Yeah, so it looks like she was arrested on felony assault. So, Teresa Randle arrested for felony assault. Shout out to TMZ for this. Actress Teresa Randle was arrested for assault this week in Los Angeles. TMZ has learned. So, law enforcement sources tell TMZ cops were first called to a LA area home for an alleged assault on October 5th. Officers responded and took a report. Randall was gone by the time. She was like, I'm out of here. She said 2 days later, they got another call from the same location reporting a possible domestic issue and a potential restraining order violation. So sources say when officers arrived, the bad boy actress was at the scene and she was arrested for felony assault for the October 5th incident. We're told the actress was irate and far from cooperative during the booking process. Law enforcement sources say that Teresa went to court on October the 9th and the DA rejected the case. Okay, so Teresa Randle has had a successful acting career starring in hits like Beverly Hills Cop, Space Jam, Bad Boy franchise. Her most recent film was Bad Boy. We reached out to Randle, but so far no word back. And I doubt if she even responds or whatever. But prayers up to her. Like, I hope her health is something's going on there. And that's the whole point I wanted to put it out. And since we talking about, like, Bad Boy Diddy, it just kind of, like, connected to me. Like, whoa, why she this? Whatever. But I wish her the best, you know. I'll keep my eyes out to see if there's any updates. As y'all know, she's extremely private and she does not have social media. So I'm just wondering. I hate to see that she's being outed like this, like on arrest charges and everything. So prayers up to her family and whatever struggle she's going through. Let's uplift this sister. Anyway, so we got into Melyssa Ford, right, Naughty Crew? And her talking about being a video vixen in the industry and how this bad behavior has gone unchecked. And I posed to you because I didn't even want to put her on my thumbnail because I'm like, what the fuck is going on? What's up with Claudia Jordan coming for Melyssa Ford? It's giving like you jealous because you the old itch in the club now, Claudia. She really came for Melyssa. Hold on. Let me make sure I get the right one. Then she turned around and came for Tasha K. And see, it's attitudes of females like Claudia Jordan that make it hard for the Melyssa Fords who don't want to sleep their way to the top and things like that. She's a hating ass hoe. And I'm going to put it to you like that. And she's fighting hard and doing and saying the most just so she could stay relevant. All right, shout out to Live Bites for these next clips. But she really threw shade at Melyssa Ford, and I ain't appreciate it. It's giving bitch you jealous. Because Melyssa on the #1 podcast with Joe Buttons. And she barely got to do anything. And your whole show got canceled. Let's hear what she got to say. I think this is the right one. Let me see.
Him say that he would make me disappear if I thought he...
Oh no, that's her talking about Diddy. What's this one?
I was in the game and one of the top video girls way before Melyssa Ford. Okay. Melyssa came like the 2000s when the big pimping video. Matter of fact, they called me for that video. I said absolutely not. I'm not gonna go from the leading videos of the R&B videos I'm doing to being one of many girls on a boat. You
didn't want to get champagne poured all over your body.
And I remember when I turned it down, the casting director, who's no longer with us, she was mad at me. She said she was going to blacklist me because I was requested, and I said no.
Oh, damn.
But I if you look at the videos I've done, they've all been very extremely classy, iconic songs. Not that Big Pimpin' wasn't, but I'm not going to go, once you're a lead lady, like one of one or two or three girls in the video, it's hard to go back to 30 girls. You know, like, I'm not doing that.
Shit.
I'm not doing that.
Talk
I'm
your
not doing that.
So Melyssa Ford made a name for herself. Okay? Why you care, Claudia? Why you have to bring this up? She whack as hell for that. Then she came for Tasha K. And James, I saw clips of the interview. Them two Looney Tunes deserve each other. Excuse me, Veronica. Yes, Melyssa is more memorable. I don't remember no videos that Claudia was in. Do y'all? She giving old bitch in the club vibes. That's what she giving. She giving because Melyssa don't bother nobody. And why people always be coming for her? Because I ain't like how they treated her on Blood, Sweat, and Hills either. Just because she pretty. Step your game up. Be confident. Build up your own confidence. Yeah, I saw a clip of, because the clip I saw, James, Jaguar Wright and Orlando Brown, is when he challenged her about throwing the ashes of her son all over the place. Oh, she was in Backstreet Boys? She was in Backstreet Boys. I'm just like, whatever. She came for Tasha K too. And it's just like, why you got everybody name in your mouth, Claudia? She trying to stay relevant. She trying to stay relevant. And I'm just like, you whack. Because it's females like you that be hating. And it make it hard for the girls come up. It's attitudes like that that create that divide amongst women. And men prey on that. Oh, that's the only one you can remember, Veronica? I don't remember ever seeing her. I don't remember ever seeing Claudia in no videos. Claudia is still trying to be relevant. That's why she keep bringing up Kathy. That's why she keep bringing up Jaguar, whatever you want to call her, Jaguar wrong or whatever. And then Tasha K, because she's trying to name drop so that she could trend. Look, Veronica, you better than me because I don't remember none. I don't remember her in none. I don't even know Claudia as a video vixen, but Melyssa Ford, we do know her as a video vixen. Superhead, we know her as a video vixen. But it's giving Claudia jealous because Melyssa, she evolved out of that. You know what I mean? Melyssa Ford is from Canada, number one. I love the interview she did with Carlos King. Check it out. It's one of his better interviews. But she talked about her migrating. She talked about the jealousy of the females in dealing with the music industry. She talked about her time on Blood, Sweat, and Hills or whatever. And then I feel like she really evolved and made a lane for herself. Oh, she was genuine video vixen, even with them claw feet. Clawfoot Claudia. And Melyssa is given like she's taken care of herself through the years and things like that. So she even talked about the loss of her mom and the relationship that they had. It was a really good interview over there at Carlos King. So you guys go check it out. But I just wanted to point out hating ass Clawfoot Jordan. Okay, and all the desperate things she's doing to trend. She even talked about Tasha K. Let me see.
Adoption. Would you give up your kid?
Oh, that's the rude shit she's saying about adoption. Please thumbs up the video. Do I have something else? I don't even want to get into that. Tasha K posted it to her channel. Y'all know what it is. She's a hater. Right. She went through a lot. But I respect her. I respect her. Well, since we're on the subject of Jag Liar Wrong, let's just keep on with it, okay? You know, as you all know, she caused so much controversy lately going on the Piers Morgan show to the point where Jay-Z and Beyonce's lawyer had to shut Piers Morgan down, make him publicly apologize, and cut her out of the video. As James said, she recently did a dual interview with Orlando Brown, and I was like, look at these two Fruit Loops, they deserve each other. Let me see if I can find that short clip. Even Meghan Markle doesn't remember Clawfoot. And she also responded to Piers Morgan. So we'll get into that. I just want to find this one video because it was short and sweet. And it got into the Orlando Brown. And he challenged her. I was surprised like she even was there for it. Let me see. Shout out to Choke No Dope Joke. He over there debunking Gene Deal all over the place. If you know, you know, okay? I don't get into that YouTube beef and stuff. And can I say the YSL trial is a mess. I guess I don't have that clip. Let me see. Right. Did y'all watch the interview with the two of them, Fruit Loops? I should have saved that channel. Oh, Jaguar Wright dragged by choir. She always dragging somebody. He is all over the place, and he backpedaling and everything. All right. So basically, Orlando Brown, like, held her feet to the fire when it came to throwing her son's ashes everywhere. But they both nuts. They both nuts. I'm sorry. If I could find it, I will later. But I'm not going to keep holding it up looking for it because she ain't worth all of that. Okay. But she did react to Piers Morgan. Okay. Let's hear what she got to say. I'm just like, chick, go say that. Why do people keep giving her a camera and a microphone? And I'm only covering this because I covered it before. She's a sick chick. She is sick. Happy birthday in order to Maya. Happy birthday to Cardi B. Cardi B team surprised her. But I'm really convinced, like, Jaguar, she just going to say the most outrageous things just so she could trend because she gets money off of this stuff. She gets money off of this. Here we go. Is this it?
Operated. A few things that I said.
Shout out to Nicole Everything for this footage. So this is her reacting to the whole Piers Morgan situation and Jay-Z and Beyonce. Here we go.
Corroborated. A few things that I said. See, taking that interview down not only takes what I said down, it takes what she corroborated down as well. I made it very clear that there are witnesses, there are victims, that are ready to come forward. And the only thing that taking that interview down is shows not just me, but them, that it's not safe to come outside. They're not willing to take down all the monsters. Matter of fact, they're going to apologize to the devil. But you also exposed is.
Thank you, Swell Gang.
Have more power than the people. And that the people just have to fall in line. I speak for the victims. I speak for the people.
Wacky Jackie.
Now everyone knows that Vlad is an agent provocateur. For what agency actually? Who knows?
Girl, all these conspiracy theory and you giving all these Swiss cheese version, no evidence. You got victims. Why aren't they going to the police? Why aren't they going to the police? All right. Now, here recently, she also went after 50 Cent. And I say, you better watch your step, girl. Do you know how petty 50 is? Like, 50, like, you talk against me, I'll troll you forever. Okay? And you know what? I'll be here for the trolling. I hope he trolled Jaguar. I hope he trolled the shit out of Jaguar. She deserved to be trolled because she been trolling people this whole time. But she spoke out against 50 Cent. Hear what she had to say. She better watch herself. Because 50 to 1. You know he don't care. He don't care how broke you are. He don't care how much money you got. You speaking against him and his brand or you use his likeness, he will come for your throat. Thumbs up this video. Okay? And a jeweler recently here had to learn the lesson. Tiara Marie had to learn the lesson. Okay? He still got Tiara Marie on the hook for $50,000. He don't even need the money. He just doing it out of straight principle. Listen to what she said about 50.
Curtis, about him and Soulja Boy on the cover of you know, you kind of poking the bear there.
I'm not poking a bear. I'm saying that he's a stone. And I've spoken to 2 men he's lived in cells with, who you had sex with, Curtis. So, no, I'm not saying allegedly. And you know it.
I'm going to do my Pierce Morgan and say he's not here to defend himself. So
no, and neither is his asshole.
So that's what she's saying about 50. And this is my problem, because she even got Rihanna's publicist, which I talked about on the channel. I watched an interview he did with Too Strong. Here's my thing. I don't think it's nobody place to out people in their sexuality. That's not Jaguar place. She doesn't have a right to do that or whatever. But she can keep fucking with 50 all she want. Okay? And if he's bisexual, that's his business. We don't care. But he don't got all these allegations like the diddler. You know what I mean? Raping and abusing. All of 50's trouble has been out in public. He gonna have a field day with Jag Liar. Just like Choke No Joke gonna have a field day with her. Okay? Nobody has the right to out other people's sexuality. Unless there's like a crime being committed or something like that. Jag Liar has no right to do that. But you gonna bark up the wrong tree, chick. I thought it would have been enough about Jay-Z and Beyonce. She never likes to be accountable for her bad behavior. And I hope 50 dragged the shit out of her. I hope he do. You don't have no right. And now she got Rihanna ex-publicist. I was watching Too Strong last night, the interview with him. He's dropping more names. He's saying that Biggie's son, Christopher Wallace Jr., is gay. In a gay relationship. Like, what gives you the right to out people? Talk about your experiences in the industry, but now he's starting to give me, like, ever since Jaguar validated, because they were on the blue couch together, validated Drake set him up to be home invaded on. Now he going to all these different platforms feeling like he can out people. Now, Rick Ross, that's been out here. DJ Khaled, that's been out here. Jonathan already put it out. But I don't like this environment of people outing people's sexuality. It's not cool. Right. Sue her for what? First of all, she's a nomad. She's a freaking gypsy. She bounces from place to place. Right. Tasha K has always called her a liar consistently. And I'm sticking to that too. I'm not saying, like, a lot of the information she get, you could go on it online and get the information yourself. She's just a good storyteller. And I said it here on the channel. She missed her calling to be an actress. That's what it gives. But y'all know 50 petty. Let's get into 50 Cent and this jeweler. All right, so 50 posted... he said, it says 50 Cent sues jeweler Tranks NYC for using his name and image to sell chains, right? 50 don't play that when it comes to his image. He posted, he said, every now and then someone does something like this. I don't know why, but I do know I'm a need that by Monday, okay? All right, so then the jeweler came out. Wait, here it is. Let me see.
Cross, and guess what, 50 Cent? We made it.
Shout out to the Neighborhood Talks for this.
Christian Cross, and guess what, 50 Cent? We made it. And we made it for our customers. We just jocked your style. I know you watch my videos. And now I'm watching your shit and jocking your shit, just like you jock my shit. So now this is available on tracksnyc.com in several different styles. I thought it was a nice cross 50, and I thought it was nice enough for me to make. Now his jewelers or somebody originally designed this cross some way somehow. Taji. That's the way the business works. Sometimes you see a nice design and you jock it, and some people do it one way and I do it this way. I admit it. and I made it. And it's available on tracksnyc.com. Thanks, 50. I appreciate it. Yeah, 50 Cent got this new cross that I liked, and guess what I did? I made it. Why not? All right, it comes in different colors, styles. 50, thank you for this interesting cross, and guess what, 50 Cent? We made it, and we made it.
Why are you using his name? It's a cloud chase.
You know what I'm saying? I'm sure.
So 50 Cent previously reached out to Tracks on social media. You'll regret doing this, I promise. He posted, he said, this was a bad idea. You will regret doing this, I promise. And then Tracks said at 50 Cent, don't you got better things to worry about? Child. But 50 don't play when it comes to his likeness. All right? I take you back. And shout out to Billboard for this article. This was in 2023. He had a lawsuit against a Miami spa over alleged penis surgery insinuation. Jake the jeweler, ain't he getting caught up in some of these lawsuits too? Child. All right. So the deal would end a case in which the rapper claimed he'd been exposed to ridiculous by the use of his image in misleading ways. So, like, Jaguar, you're wrong. You better pay attention. He don't play when it comes to his name, okay? So 50 Cent has reached a settlement to end the lawsuit in which he accused a Miami medical spa of falsely suggesting that he had penis surgery, according to court documents filed Friday, March the 24th. The rapper claims that Angela Cogan and her Perfection Plastic Surgery Med Spa exploited an innocent photo he graciously agreed to take with her to imply that he was a client, and more startlingly, that he had received penile enhancement surgery as part of his work. Let me see. Oh, he's in jail or in trouble. Yes. It's him and another guy. I figured LOL. Yes. Okay. So but in a joint filing made Friday, Miami federal court attorneys for both 50 Cent and Cogan said they had reached an agreement in principle to settle Mr. Jackson's claim and were in the process of preparing an agreement and finalize and memorialize the deal. An attorney for 50 Cent did not immediately return requests for comment. A lawyer for Cogan declined to comment. 50 Cent sued Cogan in September, arguing that he took a photo with someone he thought was a fan and had never consented to use of the image for commercial purposes in any form. He says Cogan not only posted the image to Instagram herself, but also engineered an article on the website The Shade Room, that used the post to make the false insinuation that she provided him with penile enhancement. So this is his example. 50 do not play with his name and his likeness, and maybe he'll be the one to shut that hoe down, okay? It's not. It really is not. Or anybody else. Sorry. It's just disgusting what these people done. But Jaguar is always going to be unhinged. All right. She was unhinged on the show. Look, it looked like she met her level of crazy with that Orlando Brown interview. At the end, if we have time, I'll get into it. All right. I just wasn't planning on pulling it up. All right. Then we got Dr. Dre. He's in a lawsuit as well. Speaking of the men in the industry, he is in a lawsuit as well. Please thumbs up this video. Share. Kanye West is being sued too. Shout out to the Neighborhood Talks. Kanye West being sued by former director of intelligence for alleged non-payment. Man claims Kanye made him hire a PI to follow his wife Bianca around and investigate the Kardashians for ex trafficking. Look, Kanye ain't wrapped too tight to me. All right, that's another one. Kanye West has a new lawsuit on his hands. So, according to TMZ, Ye's former director of intelligence is suing him for alleged unpaid wages and emotional distress. The man who chose to file anonymously claimed Kanye never paid him for hiring PIs to follow his wife Bianca or for investigating Kardashians for alleged criminal activity. He's weird. So in the lawsuit, the man says Ye originally hired him in 2022 to be his campaign manager, but after he decided to I think he meant to say not to run anymore, he became his director of intelligence. He was reportedly responsible for handling the NDAs and other investigations. These investigations include Kanye's wife Bianca, as well as his former in-laws, the Kardashian. The man claims he had to hire a private investigator to follow Bianca. He is weird. Hey, Bree. He also claims he had to investigate the Kardashians for supposed various criminal links because Kanye believed they participated in ex-trafficking. The man continues in the lawsuit to say that Kanye then started acting erratically in 2024 and began to threaten him with great bodily harm. Ye reportedly sent enforcers to his home to make threats in the aftermath of the confrontation where the man approached Ye about some of the abuse allegations from Donde Academy. Look, let me tell you, Kanye hands ain't clean. That's just my point. That's my point for bringing it up. Kanye, he weird, just like the rest of these men in Holly weird. I mean, just the way he parades his wife around naked is disturbing to me. There's the Claudia shit. The fact that anybody would let him do that to them, it's just weird. Like, people would do anything to be a kept woman. All right, I'm sorry, I got sidetracked. So let's get into the Dr. Dre lawsuit. Yeah, this is the publicist that's doing the same thing Jaguar is doing. Rihanna's ex-publicist. Can I say I'm over DDG? I wish he go lay down. I wish he go sit down somewhere. Well, in Snoop Dogg's murder arrest, it has been sealed. Hold on, where's this Dr. Dre lawsuit? I think I passed it. You over him too, Bree? Hey, Bree. Hey, Booski. Yeah, I don't care about J-Lo and Ben's divorce. I don't care. I don't care about Tia Mowry. I don't care about her reality show. She will not get a click interview from moi. Okay, here we go. Shout out to Hollywood and a lot. Dr. Dre faced a harassment lawsuit from his former marriage counselor. And man claims producer sent him threatening text messages. Child, are we surprised? Are we surprised? But now you want to out him, right? It was all like people are down until they not. I'm so sick of this because y'all done coddled these men for the past 30 years, put them up on a pedestal, name awards after them, gave them Hollywood stars and everything, knowing that they were predators, abusers, DVers, and all sorts of shit. Thumbs up this video. Here we go. I'm going to entertain it. It's for my naughty crew, okay? So he leaked the text messages. So it says, prescription, wow, you F with the wrong one. And then they come back and say, what happened, doc? I thought you wanted to talk. Cat got your tongue? You're going to have to give me a written apology. If not, I'm moving forward. I'm not playing. Trust me. Hey, doc, of whatever the F you're pretending to be, just know this. I'm not going anywhere until you explain to me why you tried to talk, and then the name is redacted, into saying negative things about me to the media. You're a piece of ish. Don't worry, I haven't forgotten about you. I guess this is Dre. So then they said, excuse me? He says, yes, you. You're a piece of ish. So then he says, And this is going back to February of 2023. Good morning. I have no idea what you are referring to and would make myself available anytime to discuss. Thank you. So then Dre comes back and say, you effed up. Just so you know, I love being underestimated. And then the name is redacted. And I selected you to be a trusted helping professional for time of need. It sounds to me, wait, you stayed on as our couples counselor and then as primary therapist during our divorce. All ethical breaches of conduct. From there, you inserted yourself into the divorce and conduct. From there, you inserted yourself into the divorce, attempted to convince me to settle according to her terms. I tolerated your malfeasance at the time, hoping to try anything to bring our ugly divorce to an end. But I was well aware of how wildly inappropriate your involvement was at the time. And now blank tells me that during the same period, you encouraged blank to turn against me to the press to further ruin my name. I suppose that's one of the clinical strategies you've outlined in your guide to family values. It's crazy. Yeah, a marriage counselor inserted. Yeah. So let me be crystal clear with you. I know a charlatan when I see one, or charlatan when I see one. Information is readily available, and I'm well aware of your reputation and that in the ethical breaches of conduct that have followed your career, especially during your tenure at DCFS. Fortunately, hearing you defend your choice of clinical interventions to the medical board, particularly as it relates, will bring me some satisfaction. Child, he threatened his job. And so then it goes back to the beginning. Prescriptions, wow, you fucking with the wrong one. All right, so these text messages are supposed to prove that Dr. Dre threatened him. So it looks like Dr. Dre has been hit with a lawsuit according to TMZ. Dr. Charles Sophie claims the producer slammed him with abusive and threatening text messages 14 months after his divorce was finalized. Look, Dre has a history of knocking women between the washer and dryer. His daughter was homeless out here and everything. Okay, I'm not surprised. But yet y'all put this man up on a pedestal. 50 Cent, you participate in this foolery. Okay, the Dr. Dre clown, and you dismissed it like I don't have no proof. Out of here. Michelle, I believed her. They used to call her ahead of time from him coming home so she could hide. All right. But the world continues to put this man on a pedestal. So I'll keep my eyes out on the lawsuit to see what the outcome would be. All right. But do y'all think this is a money grab? Ooh, Tell said, I hope his clear wife and therapist get all the money. I feel sorry for the therapist. He probably felt pressure to help them and protect the wife. Right. St. Hudson said the marriage counselor inserted themselves into the divorce. I mean, that's obvious, right? Of course, I'm sure the wife will direct the lawyer to contact the counselor for evidence. He is mad. I was disappointed to see Dr. Dre on stage with Kendrick Lamar. Yeah, but see, that shows the double standard of the industry. Kendrick Lamar comes out with this whole song like They Not Like Us, calling out all these pedos and predators, but yet you got Dr. Dre dancing across the street. Okay? And it just goes to show the diddler is not the only one. I take you to this TikToker. Here we go.
I am back out of retirement. So, due to some interesting circumstances, I am back out of retirement from speaking about Hollywood. Now, I've been speaking against Diddy for years, and I was the girl that everyone called crazy. Now, I'm not here to discuss more about Diddy, but I am here to do some preventative maintenance. Because the things that Diddy was conducting himself in are not just Diddy things. These are global things. These are Hollywood things. These are music industry things. These are finance things. These are politic things. These are sports things. This encompasses the entire globe. And the Dominican girl that tried to pimp me in New York City years ago is out during UN week, taking pictures with Deepak Chopra. And I've sent out word, friends of mine, people who I noticed were following her as well, and put out word. But nobody wants to take heed. Nobody cares. So you don't care that if your daughter is out there alone, being deceived by some girl who's putting her into some sex trafficking ring?
Hey,
because that's what almost happened to me.
Yeah, and Jaguar Wrong is the main one that be out here hollering and screaming, talk about she used to lure girls into trafficking and leave them, okay? She need to be in the cell next to the diddler. I don't care what nobody say. I'm so tired of people giving that predator a platform because she's just a freaking liar. And she's just as bad as the men in the industry. Ooh, child. All right. So that's all I got on Dr. Dre. I don't feel bad for him. None of that shit. All right. Because you had a nice little run, Dre. And you got to billionaire status. Right. Stop peddling these weirdos. Exactly. What the hell is going on with Elon Musk? Yes, please support, and thumbs up the video. What the heck is going on with Elon Musk? I'm so tired of him with these ugly ass vehicles he putting on the road. Okay, because I was driving the other day, and I'm coming down this street, and there it is, this big old ugly truck. You know them Tesla trucks? I don't like them. They're ugly. They're weird. I don't know why anyone would want to buy that ugly piece of... And his stuff, the engineering is not good. His products are not good products. Child. His products are not good products. And he down with the diddler too, because the diddler invested in X. Okay? I will refuse. And I said, why are they letting these ugly cars get out? These cars, it was this one. This car is so ugly. To me, it's a hazard. It's big. It's stupid. I don't care what nobody say. It's ugly, right? So then he releases a van, and I'm like, don't anybody see all the reports of the Teslas malfunctioning everywhere? People having all sorts of problems. Hey, Chantel. Chantel said, I call it the transformer car. It is ugly. And I'm like, why do they keep letting this man reproduce these vehicles and release, and they're not even safe? They're not even safe. I don't even trust it. And I just feel like he's trying to infiltrate the United States with these weird ass vehicles. So now he got like a bus or a van.
What happens if you need a vehicle that is bigger than Model Y? What? The Tesla van is. We're going to make this. And it's going to look like that. Oh my gosh! Of course they're going to make this. You see this coming toward you?
Crazy.
So this can carry up to 20 people and can also transport goods. So you can carry it for goods transport within a city or...
It's crazy. And I'm like, only thing, when I see his cars, I said, what the Jetson? Remember the cartoon, the Jetson? What the hell is going on? He putting out all these ugly equipment and stuff like that. And I don't even trust his products. I don't know. I don't trust it. It's ugly. And then
Oh no.
I see another article where he's talking about he done built a damn robot. I said, what the? Why? So now it's built by Tesla. Don't buy into this, not a crew. Shout out to the spiritual world. Tesla Optimus robots walked out into the crowd after new Robo van reveals it will be able to babysit your. I ain't letting no robot babysit my kids. Walk your dogs. This is setting us up for Naughty Crew.
In a robot suit, sort of down, and then we've progressed dramatically year after year. So if you extrapolate this, you're really going to have something spectacular, something that anyone could own. So you can have your own personal R2-D2 C-3PO. And I think at scale, this would cost something like, I don't know, $20,000, $30,000. Probably less than a car, is my prediction long term. Now, it'll take us a minute to get to the long term, but fundamentally at scale.
I'm not having that in my home, I'm glad my kids are grown. I really am. I'm not having no robot walk around my house. I could clean my own house. I could walk my own dog. It's weird. You need to go back to Africa, sir. You need to go. Don't he got like mad kids with mad baby mother? Like, Stop letting him unleash his stuff. And like all you see all over TikTok is how the Tesla car is malfunctioning. And they keep letting this man manufacture more and more vehicles. If you ask me, the truck looks dangerous. It doesn't look like it even belongs on the road. It looks like something you ride in the desert in a war or something like that. I don't feel like it's fit for the road. And like, I'm not buying it. And first of all, I don't trust anything that drives itself. No. I don't trust nothing that they letting these Hollywood people put out. I don't trust the liquor that they putting out. I don't trust these vehicles that they putting out. And I bring this story to you, like, we need to pay attention, people, at what is going on. They're trying to replace the human with robots, all right? And you know, eventually they're going to replace jobs. This is what the doc workers were fighting against recently because they don't want AI coming taking their jobs. They don't want these computers coming in and taking their jobs. And I just feel like certain things, like, you just can't replace with human. I like to have the human touch. Call me old school or whatever, you know. And look at what's going on around us. Look, TD Bank ordered to pay more than $3 billion after pleading guilty to money laundering. Computerized stuff. Ciao. TD Banks will pay over $3 billion in penalties to failing to properly prevent money laundering, as well as violating the Bank Secrecy Act, admitting the serious flaws in its anti-money laundering criteria and policy since 2014. All right, so even the banks are crooked. Okay, James is giving us a What about to help my grandparents babysit? No. Knotty, my boss was in an accident with that car, and the car was on automatic drive and hit a lot. Oh, child. The robot dog gonna turn your pets into dinner. Child. That's what I'm talking about. Like, people need to pay attention as to what is going on and stuff like that. But, I mean, I wish Elon Musk go lay down. Why don't you do this in your country? Mm-hmm. Why don't you do this in your country? Why you keep coming over here with this mess? Why you keep coming over here? There are scams and schemes going on everywhere, Naughty Crew. Yes, please share this live. Thumbs up the video. I know it's a longer live, but I missed yesterday, so we have some catching up to do. All right, shout out to St. Hudson for sending me this next footage. The Met Gala will be coming up shortly here. Shout out to New York Styles. All right, the 2025 Met Gala theme and co-chairs have been announced. All right, so the Metropolitan Museum of Art announced on Wednesday that its spring 2025 fashion exhibit will be super fine, tailoring black style, focusing on the history of black danity. I think that is dainty, and the way peacocking goes beyond aesthetics to empower ASAP Rocky, Coleman Domingo, Lewis Hamilton, and Pharrell Williams, and Anna Wintour. We know Naomi ain't gonna be there. Naomi Campbell, you ain't gonna be at the gala this year, girl. You got to answer for all them allegations with your your fundraising or your charity. Mhm. So Anna Winter will be co-chairs of the gala that opens the show. LeBron James will be the honorary chair. The Met's first fashion exhibition to focus solely on the work of designers of color. Nice. As well as the first in more than 2 decades to focus explicitly on menswear. The show is another step in the Costume Institute's efforts to rectify its own historic failures in diversity and inclusion, said Andrew Bolton, the curator in charge. So I thought this was dope. They're honoring black designers. Because we all know fashion, they could be racist, period. They could be racist. So speaking of the fashion industry and how it could discriminate and break you down to your core, honey, with their critiques. Looks like Aoki Simmons is deciding to denounce the modeling game, okay? Her sugar daddy must not be stepping up.
Over and over and over, no, you're not pretty enough, no. I think I'm probably wrapping up modeling soon. I'm like getting a job in my degree field, but while I'm still here, I should do my best. I just feel like, does that make sense at all? I hope I don't sound whiny. Like, did that make sense at all? Like, if I'm going to a casting that my mom always got, and I feel like it just feels like one big fat, like, comparison all the time. Like, okay, you're not as good. I get that. Like, my mom is always going to be a way better model than me, but it's just annoying to have that comparison sometimes. It'd be so great to go to a casting that your mom did, and I'm like, no, it's not. It's awful, because then when you don't get it, it feels even more like... I think I'm going to end up switching back to working in government. That's my degree's in, but while I'm here, I'm going to do my best. Okay. I love modeling, and I'm sure people are going to report this how they always do, but it's not what I said. I love modeling, but it's hard to go somewhere and get told over and over and over, no, you're not pretty enough, no, you're not pretty enough, no. So...
It's given, I heard a little entitlement there. It's given Nepo baby entitlement. And she thinks, like, if she goes to a shoot that her mom got, she should automatically get it. No. It depends on the look. Look, the modeling industry is grueling, and it will pick you apart your looks. And don't get me wrong, I feel like she's a beautiful girl. She has a very eccentric look. It's different or whatever. But I just feel like it was some entitlement there. And look, Couture said she quitting again. She acts like her father, and she overreacts to everything. She's super sensitive. Couture said, it annoys me she doesn't like modeling yet and complains about it. It annoys me that she has a degree and won't use it. Gives me that she's lazy and entitled. MBMB, hey, I suppose it's about the dandy and the African support. Oh, Andre, yes. I forgot he passed away. He was big in the industry. I'm sad too, St. Hudson. She said Andre and Leon Talley isn't here, the witness. Ooh, Tales from the Purgatory said, I ain't fooled by the sudden pandering to black fashion designers. It's 2024. They should have been done this. Or maybe they trying to deflect and distract from the trafficking that goes on in the modeling industry. Come on now, let's talk about it. Let's talk about it. All right. I found this clip very funny, and I'm gonna make it a meme on my channel. If anybody bites off of it, I'm a kick in your neck, okay? New York and Teresa Giudice or Giudice. This clip was hilarious. It was going around.
To you because I always respected your hairline on television. Okay. I feel like I could come to you because I always respected your hairline on television.
I thought that shit was hilarious. I said New York. She said, I feel like I could come to you because I always respected your hairline on television. Yeah, I don't know what Teresa did, but remember her hairline used to be like in the middle of her forehead. Les Calvin Klein Morvick Owen. Why is she going to the same calls as her mother went to? Right. Because she probably feel like it was an easy win. St. Hudson. Yes. She probably feel like it was an easy win. All right. The last story I want to get into. As you all know, Hurricane Milton just hit Florida. And we had a whole bunch of people trolling it. I know Royce Reed, she like documented and hey Gracie Boo. Royce Reed, she documented the storm and as it progressed and everything. So that was cool. But the one thing that stood out to me was Lieutenant Dan. He's a whole scammer. He's a whole scammer. Now this man was in Tampa, Florida, in the boat, and he refused to evacuate. And I said, why this man won't evacuate? All right, let me see if I can find like some beginning clippings. What the hell wrong with this man? Here we go.
The boat's gonna go up, and I'll go up with it. And when the water goes out, I'll come back down again. So in the meantime, I'm gonna be in here where it's nice and dry. I'm gonna drop the top. Now you can see I have like pop top up, and the Dodger wrapped around it. But I got some holes with an old Dodger, so it's not really too watertight. And I don't trust it when the storm does come. If the winds pick up and the rain starts flying vertically or horizontally, I'm sorry. So I'm going to drop the top in about an hour or so, and it's going to be hard for me to get internet signal in here. But just let you know, I will post stuff as I go along, and you will see me again unless I get arrested. And if you don't see me post anything for a couple of days, do a search in Hillsborough County, Florida, probably Pinellas County, Florida, or Sarasota County, Florida, and do a search on my name, Malinowski, M as in Mary, ALINOWSKI. That's my last name, and I'll probably be in for something stupid like, I don't know, jaywalking in a flood. Anyway, I'll post this and post your comments, and I love you. Thank you so much. You guys have been a blessing, and you don't make me feel like I'm so alone like I did before.
All right, so Lieutenant Dan, he was refusing to evacuate. I was watching all on the news. People was trying to get him to...
Right now, don't get me wrong. If I start bouncing around and I start hearing things crack and break, I'm getting the hell out of here. I don't fear the storm. I don't fear anything, but the government, the police, the mayor, everybody's trying to get me to leave in the worst way. I wish they would leave me alone. If nobody saw me on TikTok, I'd be out here by myself right now, doing the same thing I'm doing right now, just sitting here. They don't do anything to help you. They just tell you that you have to leave, that it's a flood zone or whatever, and that you have to evacuate. Well, where am I supposed to go? And how am I supposed to get there? I don't have a car. I don't have anywhere to go. And then you tell me you're going to put me in a shelter. I'm not going to a shelter. I've been to shelters and I've seen what goes on in them. I'm doing my own thing. And if I'm risking my life, then so be it. I'm in God's hands.
All right, so, and this is my thing. I'm like, He obviously wanted some attention out of this, right? And that he did. He garnered a lot of attention. And I said, what the heck? Something ain't right in the water. What's this? Everybody's issuing all these warnings. People are going out the dock and trying to get him to come out or whatever. And he's refusing to get out, right? Look, I want to know what happened to this house. This man legit strapped his house down right before the hurricane. I'm waiting to see some pictures on that. All right, so Lieutenant Dan is going viral everywhere. People magazine even picked up the story. Officials try to help viral Floridian man, Lieutenant Dan, before Hurricane Milton, but he chose to stay in his boat, right? What's this?
Which is like incredible, actually, based on what we've been through over the last couple of hours. Lieutenant Dan! I've got you on News Nation. We just wanted to... Are you okay?
I'm fine. I'm just getting wet.
He's fine. He's getting wet. Are you concerned when the water comes back in?
I don't know what's going to happen. I don't see what happens. I'm just hanging in tight, waiting for the water to come in so I can see what I got to do bed.
He said he's hanging in tight. Wait, oh boy, it's coming in here again. Okay. Okay, keep me posted. So the good news is there's some people up here, I think, who are sort of trying to keep an eye on him. But just to show Luis, I mean, it's not a good situation because the water has receded. So he's like, his boat is now basically touching the floor of the bay. And what he was saying, if you couldn't hear, is he's concerned. What he's wondering is what's going to happen when the water comes back in.
Okay, so he got the news people going out there trying to get him to come in. He don't want to come in. I said, well, leave the man alone. Leave Lieutenant Dan alone. Lieutenant Dan, if you don't want to evacuate, that's his choice. He believes in God. I'm like, great, okay? So then even streamers. Hold on, what's this?
The owners of Kick and I, we spoke.
All right, hold on. Let me find the original one. Even streamers are coming up with money to help Lieutenant Dan. Let me see if I can find the original one. They're offering to give him boats and everything. And I'm like, this man, I'm in the wrong business, okay? All he had to do was sit in the hurricane zone and people raising money for him, people getting him new boats. I said, people are so freaking gullible. It's not even funny. Let me see. I'm going to try to find the original, but if not. But the streamer offered to buy him a boat, offered to get him some money and things like that. I was like, what the... All you gotta do is sit in the hurricane and all these people will come forward and help you. I just thought it was weird. I thought it was weird. I don't know, Knotty Crew. But then I started thinking, like, this man's scamming. This man is scamming. Then I found out he had a GoFundMe. And I was like, what the... What he need a GoFundMe for? And then a woman came forward and debunked the whole thing. Hold on, what's this? All right, no. All right, so here's the streamer that decided to get him a boat and stuff for whatever reason.
The owners of Kick and I, we spoke. I know you're not really aware of it, but it's okay. We're going to help you. I'm going to work with these guys. These guys seem to know you. I'm going to ask how you guys know each other in a few. We were able to come up. I'm going to be able to pay for a boat for you. We're going to get you a nice boat in the range of $50,000 to $100,000. And we're going to get you a full-time Kick deal, which is a live streaming deal where you can stream your entire voyages and all your adventures. And you can have a passive income come in. And you're going to be, you're going to have a Kick deal, man, a live streaming deal. So you can live stream and connect with fans all over the world, and they could really see your adventure, man.
Wow. Thank.
All right, so look, he got a kick deal. He got a boat. I said, well, what the fuck? What we doing wrong, Naughty Crew? Okay, like, I can't believe this. He got a GoFundMe. So this TikToker came forward and right. Anything Aiden Ross, that's his name. Aiden Ross. It's probably a scam. So this TikToker came forward to debunk the scam of Lieutenant Dan. Okay, here we go.
For $20,000 in it. He's not homeless. Period. He lives on a boat. Except for the short year that he spent in prison for beating a EMT with a violin. His GoFundMe is under a different name than the one that he's using in the Daily Press and the one that he was arrested in. So it's really hard to tell who exactly he is. But what I have found is that his Facebook page lists himself as a digital creator. That's right, a digital creator. He lives in Palm Beach. Knowing that there was going to be a storm, he anchored himself to the worst place in all of Tampa. The worst place. From where he anchored, there are 4 marinas. The Hillsborough River, a short jaunt, like literally not even 700 feet from where he's anchored, would have been a safer location to put his boat. He was offered hotels. He was offered homes. He has clearly made $20,000 in a GoFundMe. All of this for internet clout. Meantime, there are people who are homeless in Tampa and St. Pete, Clearwater area. There are people who are infirm, who are gravely ill, who have no cars, who cannot leave, who do not have options, and those people have my sympathies. Those are the people that deserve our sympathy. Not people who've decided that they want to chase clout on the internet. Not people who have $20,000 in a GoFundMe that they started 3 weeks ago. Not people who came to Tampa to make a point. Not people who chase internet fame.
Period. And now I believe the GoFundMe is up to $40,000. I'm like, what the? People, watch who you donate to. Watch who you donate to. Cause there's a lot of scamming going on. Y'all already know I always like to bring awareness to these the different type of scams and the way people clout chase. It's disgusting. I'm like, Lieutenant Dan is a whole freaking scam. Okay, here's the next morning. Florida man known as Lieutenant Dan has made nearly $40,000 on GoFundMe after surviving Hurricane Milton. People were concerned about him staying on his boat during the storm. And I just smoked a half a joint. And I'm high right now. Shout out to Say Cheese TV. Here we go.
The boat here. And Lieutenant Dan here. How'd it go? How'd the night go?
It was a little rough till about 11:30. I repositioned the boat, and I was heading into the wind, and I slept like a baby from 12:30 to 5 o'clock this morning. I woke up twice to pee, that was it. But other than that, I mean, it's been a great night. I just smoked half a joint. I'm high, I'm watching all the people run around like crazy because of all the water. The water went up. It was up to here last night. It was over the fucking pole.
There's the boat, still standing.
I mean, I believe me, I got battered against the tire, but other than a couple of scuff marks on the side, my boat's in better shape now than it was before because it got washed. So, I mean, everything's a plus. It's a win-win all the way around.
What'd you learn from this experience?
Not a damn thing. No. Actually, there are a lot of good people in this world, and I gave up on this world years ago because I've been on my own, and, I mean, I struggle every day.
We got the boat here. And Lieutenant Dan here. How'd it go?
Lieutenant Dan is a scam, okay? And for all these people that donated to this GoFundMe, donate to the content creators out here that's putting out the real news, okay? And on the diddler's net. Lieutenant Dan is a scam. I don't care what nobody say. He did all of that for clout and attention. And it's real people that need help. Even Tasha K, she posted about it, okay? And then Aiden the streamer came back out because I guess people were saying, like, why didn't you get him a new boat? And he came back to debunk. What? Wait, Tasha K.
I was telling you,
Lieutenant Dan loses 100K. Oh, she put out, Tasha K put out, Lieutenant Dan loses 100K boat and kick deal after his past comes to light. All right, so then they came back to debunk that. Here we go.
Message Terrence.
Here we go.
I actually messaged Terrence. I'm going to show you guys the text at 4 a.m. last night after I ended stream. Look what I said. Look what I said. Hey, bro, did he see a boat he likes? Look. Hey, bro, did he see a boat he likes? That's after I ended stream last night. So Dan is getting his boat and he's getting everything. So then you got people coming up to him in person saying, Ada Ross, cancel your shit. What do you feel about it? Leave that man alone. I'm working myself out with him. We are going to make sure he gets the boat and the money and everything. And all you people that are saying don't pay him, everyone's got a fucking past. And I don't want people to say, because I already thought about what I'm going to say about this. People say, oh, now you're just paying because of the backlash. I DM'd this guy at 4 in the morning before the backlash surfaced the internet. Everything. I actually messaged Terrence. I'm going to show you guys the text at 4 a.m. last night.
Shout out to Unwind with Tasha K. All right. For this footage, I still feel like it's a scam. It's a lot more people that need your help out here. Do not feed into the propaganda and the okie doke, because Lieutenant Dan is fine. Lieutenant Dan pockets are tight, okay? Lieutenant Dan raised $40,000 in GoFundMe money. Lieutenant Dan don't need none of our help. Period. All right, guys, I'm going to go ahead and close the show. Your girl is starving now. I just wanted to bring highlights to Lieutenant Dan. He's a scam. All right. And that's why I don't be donating. I don't be believing them GoFundMes and stuff like that. Nope. Go play with your mama. Don't play with me, okay? So I appreciate every last one of you joining me. I hope you all enjoyed the show. Let's leave it in the comments. Let me know what you think. Replay game, please let me know you're on the replay. I brought a lot of good information here. Please, thank you so much, James. Please thumbs up this video if you don't do anything else, and share my content out. All these things will help me move through the algorithm. And if you're not subscribed, please subscribe. We're on the path to 5K subs, Knotty Crew. Yeah! And I will continue my coverage on the diddler. I'm keeping my foot on his neck. Okay? Appreciate you all. Until next time, Knotty Crew, I'm out. 1.